Hello plant friends. I want to show you today whenever your elephant ears grow babies propagating, they get crowded in pots, and so I want to show you today how to take these beauties and separate the babies from the mom and grow them in their own pots. So you can see how full this little pot has become, and they need to be separated in order to grow themselves and produce more babies. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find a safe place to lay your elephant ears down. I usually work on some type of a tarp, and you're going to very gently start working your soil out of the pot. You are going to bend some limbs, as in right here. That's okay. We will just cut that off down here with some scissors later, and it will be fine. So you're going to very gently work this out of the pot, and then you're going to see that there is a dominant plant or mother, and you're going to very gently try to separate those pups from the mother. You're going to just start pulling the dirt away from the dominant root or the mom. And then your goal is to remove this pup or this baby from its mother right here, but still keep roots on this guy, okay? Because it will have its own root system as it grows, and your job is to make a cut right here with your shovel very gently in order to keep these roots. Ready? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come between the dominant plant and the baby, or the mom and the baby, and I'm going to separate this and keep the roots intact. So I've just got a small shovel here, and I'm going to work the shovel right down between those two very gently. This is not a rush thing. You have to take your time. See how this is becoming a split. And this is called a black Hawaiian elephant ear. So very carefully, see how I've split this. I'm gonna work it very gently, and you can see I've made a clean break there. And now I have, again, it's not ready to separate. I gotta keep working it. There we go, we finally got it. So I'm gonna show you, I've separated it from the mom. Here's the mom, all beautiful. I didn't cut the bulb. You wanna make sure you don't damage your bulb. Here's your babies. And I'm gonna separate these two. And you can see, look at that. That is so beautiful. She has her own root system, and it's okay. Yes, I did end up damaging a leaf. They're very resilient. I'm gonna take some scissors. Hold on just a second, let's see. And I'm going to show you with my scissors where I just cut this off right here, trim it off, and it will be good to go. Now this plant is going to grow its own bigger root system and then start propagating and growing more elephant ears. And this is the other clean break. This is really beautiful. Look at that root system. Again, it's okay. Look at this. We accidentally damaged a little bit of leaves. It was weak anyway, so I just cut that off. Any dead stuff like this, it just peeled off and cut off. But now I'm going to actually come through and trim some of these roots off. You don't need all this. So I'm going to trim some of this off. Now, it may stress a little bit and wilt. That's okay. It will grow new elephant ears and it will come out of it. So there you go. Now you know how to separate. I will continue to do this and separate all these babies. I am going to have to be super careful with this tender one. It won't even take a shovel. I'm just going to ease it off. If I don't get a lot of roots out of that one because it's real young, I'm just going to put it, really watch it for a little while and make sure it's getting, I would put it in the shade since it's young and it's going to go through some stress, I would put something like this young definitely in the shade, or it will get too stressed. Thanks for watching. Okay, one of the important things also of getting new babies, such as this that I just pulled off of its mom, is getting it started in its good soil. So if you've seen my other videos, you know I am a strong believer if a plant does not have the good soil it needs to thrive in, it's never going to produce and grow big and tall and strong and beautiful. So I like to get my soil mixture. I have other videos on this. Put it in a big container like this, mix it up. I have not mixed this yet. So I've got my peat moss in here, dumped a bunch of peat moss, dumped my potting soil because I am going to put this in a pot, not the ground. If you put something in the ground, you want to use garden soil. But what I'm doing is I dumped my potting soil. I don't have a particular brand name, not the cheapest, not the most expensive, something in the middle, just a general peat moss, and then a play sand, just some play sand like this. You want to mix this up really well, and then you want to put it in your pot. Once you get that good and fit mixed up, put it in your pot, put him in here, not too deep. I'm going to fill it up and put him about right here, and in the pot just a little bit under the lip here, and then that will give him a healthy start. So make sure you always fill this with your healthy soil, and of course pay attention. Do they need shade, sun, how much water, those kinds of things. Okay, another update on the progress of separating these mamas. What I wanted to show you is I have actually decided, the more I worked with this is the mom plant, this is the dominant plant, I have decided he's too tender and young to take a chance. I rotated him a little bit. He didn't really want to come off yet, so I'm not going to force it. So I'm actually going to leave him, and we'll separate him at a later time. So I'm continuing to get these great breaks. Even that is good enough. It has a good enough root system. So I'm getting ready to add him to a pot, and I just wanted to show you this is the progress so far. I'm going to continue to break these mamas from their babies, especially this one is next. But I just wanted to give you that update that I have decided to leave this little guy alone. He's just too tender. So we're about there. Look at that new leaf growing. So we got a really healthy plant here. I also wanted to show you this bulk of all this down here is not necessary. So I'm going to give her a fresh start here and tear some of this off the bottom. And if you need to, you can grab your scissors and just clip towards the bottom and cut some of that off to give her a fresh start on her roots. Okay, so here's my second plant I was showing you a little while ago. Gonna gently lay her down, gonna pull her out, and then we're going to start looking for the dominant plant, the mother plant. So it's the one in the middle that is bigger. So that's the one we really want to end up with in the end. So got to be real careful with this real tender plant in front. So what I'm going to do is kind of break this dirt away. Like I said earlier, this has to be a slow process. This plant is called a Royal Hawaiian Black Coral Elephant Ear. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm trying to figure out the best route here, and I think it's right here. So remember, we're just going to get this little shovel in between here. I'm actually going to face this way, and I'm just going to work in between here. Got to be real gentle with these leaves. We are going to end up probably having to cut some off, and that's okay. The plant will get stressed as we do this, but it needs to be broken off from its mother. So I'm just gently going right in between there. You want to try to keep a clean break and get your own roots, real gentle with those. Get your own root system going here. Make sure your cuts will have their own roots. And so we did a great job here making sure they do have their own root system. And then this one does not need a shovel. Just gonna very gently turn it. Very slow and gently rotate it and turn it because this one is so small, it doesn't need a shovel. And look, I got roots on both of them. So yes, we've damaged some leaves, as I said in another video. That's okay. You just get your scissors. Look at this new leaf coming in. No stress at all, just cut that off. And so this is gonna go down into my special soil, and it will be in its own pot. This one got a little damaged. Just gonna come in here and cut those. Cut that right off. He's ready now. Now he's got too longer roots. I don't like that. So I'm gonna come through here, just trim a little bit of that off. Whenever you're cutting these off from the mom like this and transplanting and putting them in their own pots, they are gonna stress no matter what you do. But I do like to put them in the shade for a while, no matter if they're full sun or not, and just help them to lower their stress level. You don't wanna put them right back in the sun. Now banana trees are way different than that. You can put banana trees right back in the sun, but elephant ears are more tender. So this one right here, he is really young. He probably doesn't need much of a shovel. I'm afraid I would hurt him. So I'm just gently pulling him off, as you can see. And look, that is enough root system right there for that young tender plant. Definitely can't put ones like that in the sun. They will bake and they're gonna stress anyway and wilt. I'll show you in a little bit some pictures of some that I just pulled off from their moms, and they're already wilting. It's okay. They will eventually come out of it. It is a process. See this right here? If I just pulled it, it's gonna break off. You're gonna have to go deep right by the mom with the shovel to be able to pull them away from the mom and get their own root system. So I did that really slowly and carefully. I'm gonna pull this off. Now, be very careful. Pull these off from each other very slowly. As you can see, that is a wonderful break there. It's got its own really good root system. He's gonna go in a pot by himself. This is a very, very healthy, stable plant. Got a really good root system there. We've just got, out of all that, we've got one left. Now, this is pretty much barely hanging on because of the shovel work I did with the others. So he's just, if you can kind of feel it and it's wobbly feeling, loose, you can just very carefully break them off. So this guy is ready to go. I am gonna cut this leaf off in just a minute before I plant him. This guy is all by himself. This was the dominant mother plant. So I'm going to put her in a pot with some birds of paradise in a few minutes. And so there is our second set of plants. That was my goal today, is to get all of those separated. So thank you for watching. Quick video, I did a couple different videos. These are my birds of paradise that I just separated, and then the beautiful Royal Hawaiian black coral elephant ears. So just pretty pleased with how those turned out. Quick view of this one. He is just absolutely gorgeous and happy, and there's my birds of paradise. And then I want to go over here just quickly and show you, this is what came off of those two sets of plants besides the big old mamas that I just showed you. You can see some of them are stressing. When you separate them, they are going to stress. They will generate new leaves. Like this one, they'll be popping new leaves. They will come out of their stress, but for a while, I am going to keep them, sorry about the mower in the background, I'm going to keep them in the shade to cut down on their stress for a while until I feel like they're established and ready to go out in more sun. Now, the gorgeous thing about these is if you keep them in the shade, like even just a little bit of morning sun, but mostly shade, you're gonna get that deep green purple. If you put them in the sun, it's going to be a lighter green color and a lighter purple. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed the videos of watching the separations of these gorgeous elephant ears.